outpost. Choosing to be the red to the campus.
Hostiles in the Memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you.
What's up, my fellow Division 2 agents? I hope everyone has been doing well and staying safe. Today, guys, I got a very fun build to showcase. I really enjoy using this build. I have been using this particular gear set for a while now, but I never really took time to make a video on it. With that being said, guys, now is the perfect time to farm for this gear set, because with the latest update in Division 2, you are able to get the blueprints for this gear set by completing level 4 control points. Now, the gear set I'm talking about is System Corruption. Used to be pretty aggravating to get, in my opinion, guys. You mainly had to attain it through the Legacy Cache. You could even get it during the Dark Zone. All right, so let's go over this build breakdown real quick. I was using the Ouroboros SMG. Pretty good SMG, guys. You can obtain this weapon through the Paradise Incursion. But as you can see, total damage is 76.60k with an RPM of 1,403, 50 in the magazine with a headshot damage of 70%. All right, I do have a weapon expertise of 30%, and as you can see, the core attributes are fully maxed out. You can reroll that third talent to damage the target out of cover. The talent on this gun is called Rule Them All. When the agent has a status effect applied to them, 50% of the ammo in their next magazine will apply the same status effect to their targets. This effect will occur only during combat. The mods that come on this gun is 10% critical hit damage, 25% reload speed, 10% critical hit chance, and 10% increase in rate of fire. You cannot change those mods. All right, your secondary weapon did not matter, guys, and if you did not have the Ouroboros, you could easily use any other SMG you prefer, such as the Chatterbox, Lady Death, or even one that I would recommend definitely is the Dark Winter SMG. This is another great SMG, guys, or basically any vector in SMG, or you could even use any assault rifle that you prefer. All right, I did have the Shield Splinter equipped, but I did not use my secondary weapon in the gameplay, and I also had the Orbit pistol equipped, guys. And one of the reasons I enjoy using the Orbit pistol whenever I do use my pistol is the fact that the talent is called Perfect Finisher, and basically swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage. The mods I do have is 20% reload speed and a 10% critical hit damage mod. All right, like I said, I did have System Corruption set on, guys. 2 pieces gives you 15% armor back on the kill. 3 pieces gives you 40% disrupt resistance and 40% pulse resistance. But that don't, in this particular gameplay, guys, and PvE content, I wasn't really worried about that too much. When you have all 4 pieces, you get the Hack Step Protocol. This replaces armor kits with an instant infinite use ability on a 20-second cooldown that repairs 20% armor and grants 50% bonus armor and hides your nameplate. All right, this also increases your total weapon damage by 2% per 5% bonus armor gain, up to a total of 20%. Core attribute I did have was an armor core 170k. And the regular attributes we was going for on this particular mask, guys, was either critical hit chance or critical hit damage. I did have 12% critical hit damage attributes on this particular mask. All right, guys, for the chest piece, I did have the Hunter Killer chest piece, guys. But if you don't have this chest piece, it doesn't matter. Just wear whatever particular chest piece you prefer. 1 piece of the Hunter Killer chest set, it gives you 10% status effect. The core attribute was the armor core 170k. With the middle attributes, guys, was going for either critical hit chance or critical hit damage. All right, the talent is called Perfect Intimidate. While you have bonus armor, you gain 1 stack each second up to a total of 10. Each stack increases weapon damage by 4%. 2 enemies within 10 meters. All stacks are lost when you don't have bonus armor. So guys, you want to be within 10 meters of those enemies, and you can get up to 40% increase in weapon damage. But keep in mind, when you lose that bonus armor, you lose that damage. All right, I did have the system corruption holster on as well, with an armor core with a 6% critical hit chance attribute. The knee pads as well, guys, with an armor core with another 6% critical hit chance attribute. And the gloves as well with a weapon core 15% with a 12% critical hit damage attribute. All right, for the Memento backpack, guys, just amazing exotic backpack, especially for solo gamers. It comes with a weapon core, armor core, and a skill tier. Did have an expertise of 12, and I did have an attribute of 12% critical hit damage. The talent is what's really amazing about this backpack, guys. It's called Kill Confirm. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped, and this lasts for 10 seconds. For each red core, guys, each you getting 5% bonus weapon, each blue you getting 10% bonus armor, and each yellow you getting 5% skill efficiency. All right, for every trophy collected, you get an additional plus 1% weapon damage, plus 1% skill efficiency, and plus 1.1% armor regen for 300 seconds. You get a maximum of 30 stacks. When you have all 30 stacks, you're going to have 30% skill efficiency, 30% bonus weapon with 3% armor regen, which is great for survival, guys. Now, if you don't have the Memento backpack, I will give you some other options. Mainly just any backpack that you prefer, guys, but change the talent. I would recommend any talent that gives you back bonus armor, such as Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds. This stacks up to 3 times. It does have a cooldown of 5 seconds. Also, guys, another talent that would have been perfect is the Bloodsucker talent. Basically, killing the enemy adds and refreshes a stack of 12% bonus armor for 10 seconds. You get a max of 10 stacks on that, guys. But if you don't have the perfect version, you can always reroll whatever backpack you prefer with the regular Bloodsucker talent. Like I said, I would recommend any backpack that gives you back that bonus armor. But keep in mind, guys, the Memento gives you a lot more, so I would recommend that. Now, if you don't, like I said, if you don't want to use the Hunter Killer chest, you can go with any chest that you prefer. There were many other chest pieces that work great in this build. One piece of the Sokolov chest gives you 10% SMG damage, guys, and the core attribute. And the main thing we wanted on this chest was the talent to be Obliterate. And what that does is critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. This stacks up to 20 times to get a 20% increase in weapon damage. Now, if you didn't want to use that, guys, you could have even went with a Grupo chest as well. I would still recommend the Obliterate talent on that as well. And what one piece gives you is 13% critical hit damage. Or you could have even went with a chest piece as well to get more critical hit chances needed. And whenever you wear one piece chest, you get an 8% critical hit chance. And of course, guys, keep the same talent as Obliterate as well. And like I said, guys, or any chest piece that you prefer, you can easily just roll the talent Intimidate if you want to still use the Intimidate talent. All right, for the talents, guys, I did go with the Crusader Shield, basically just a little bit more survivability. And it is at a tier 6, and that is determined by the number of blue and yellow cores you have. I did go with the Striker's drone as well, guys, to draw aggro and also deal a little bit of damage. All right, so let's take a look at the weapon stats. On this particular setup, guys, I did have a critical hit chance of 63% with 127% critical hit damage when using the Ouroboros, with headshot damage being 70%. All right, when I was using the Shield Splinter, 42% critical hit chance with 117% critical hit damage with 75% headshot damage. All right, so let's take a look at the armor. On this particular build, guys, we did have right there 1,678,290 armor with 419,573 armor back on the kill. And keep in mind, you will have armor regeneration as well whenever you get all your stacks with the Memento backpack. Overall, pretty good build, guys. Very lots of survivability, infinite ammo kits, and you can dish out pretty good damage as well. All right, so let's take a look at the seasonal modifiers, guys. On this particular setup, I did go with the Assault Link. And what that active modifier does is your firearms attribute is set to tier 5. For the duration of the ability, you gain plus 5% weapon damage for every non-red core equipped. Attributes are frozen and bonuses are multiplied by 4. Passive modifier values are multiplied by 2, and on activation, allies within 25 meters are granted a boost to their firearm score, and the modifier's duration is increased by 3 seconds for each ally nearby. All right, once the effect ends, all attribute scores go back to the baseline values. The duration of this is 25 seconds, and it does have a 60-second cooldown. All right, for the passive, they go with extra padding. You gain 5% protection from elites per blue core equipped while at tier 5 in stamina. All right, we did go with safety first. Hazard protection is increased by 7.5% for each stamina tier you have. And I did go with loaded up. And this passive modifier, you gain 25% increase of your critical hit chance value is added as critical hit damage while at tier 5 in firearms. As you can see, guys, we had 2 red cores, 5 blue cores, and 1 yellow core on this particular setup. Overall, a lot of survivability right there. 1.7 million armor, infinite armor kits. This build is a lot of fun, guys. I do recommend you give it a try. All right, so it's like I said, guys, you can craft this as long as you have the blueprints, which you can obtain by basically doing those control points at level 4. You can get those blueprints and basically craft them, but you can obtain this through the legacy caches as well. I recommend whenever the events, the global events are taking place, to if you want to obtain this good set like that, just rack up those stars that you obtain and go buy the basically buy a bunch of legacy caches. All right, so let's take a look at my skill at the class specialization. All right, guys, so with this build, we did go with the gunner specialization, but always use whichever class specialization you prefer. All right, every third reload is 50% faster. You do get killing an enemy grants 10% armor on a kill. And guys, you will have access to the Banshee Pulse, and what it does is it launches a forward arc of pulse energy that disorients enemies caught in the wave, and it also penetrates cover. All right, you also generate 10% of your total ammo capacity every 60 seconds, and party members receive 5% of that. And your rate of fire is increased by 5% on kills for 5 seconds. One last thing is don't forget to equip the correct weapon elements so you can get your bonus in 15% in whatever weapon you're using. Damage, so that's amazing as well. Don't forget to equip the correct weapon element. All right, guys, if you like the build, let's give it a thumbs up. Thank you for your valued time and continued support as always. All right, stick around, finish the rest of this mission for those who enjoy the gameplay. All right, D-Werewolf out.
You gotta find a way to close up that tunnel. Lock that tunnel door from the control center. That should keep it from being able to transport those mortars loaded from DC-62.
Movement. Damn, I thought I caught that agent.
Good work. Go on ahead back up. The team from the... Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sun's infrastructure.